Father Joseph Anthony, welcome to the Katie McGrady Show.
Katie, it is fantastic to be on the show with you. We've been friends for a while, and I think this is the first time that we've actually been together on your show. So
It
I am happy
is.
to be here. Thank you
It
for the invite.
is. We typically pull another Dominican into the Katie McGrady Show universe, and then he moved to Rome.
Yeah,
So I need new friends. So we've got
exactly.
you and the other wonderful Godsplaining guys who I've had
Hmm.
the chance to travel the world with. We were all together in Rome, which was pretty remarkable. That's the last time I saw you. Since
Yeah.
then, you've had quite a lot on your plate.
Hmm.
Because you've got a
Hmm.
pretty big event coming up. Tell us what your mission
Yeah.
assignment is and what's happening in DC this weekend.
So earlier this year, I took on a new assignment. I left the world of campus ministry, where I was a chaplain at the University of Virginia for 8 years, which I loved. Loved Charlottesville, loved UVA, and all of that. And then earlier this year, I got a new assignment to be the promoter of the Rosary for the province of Saint Joseph.
The whole
Which,
rosary.
yeah, yeah. Every single bead I have to promote. I just roll them beads, baby.
Do you have a favorite decade?
Honestly, yes, I do have a favorite decade. Oddly enough, it's the scourging at the pillar. I don't know
Okay.
why. I'm not a big fan of suffering, but so the sorrowful mysteries are always probably the mysteries that I'm least natural affinity for. But for some reason, I'm always captivated by the scourging at the pillar, mainly because I'm very convicted that I caused every single one of those lashes on the Lord, and I kind of have to take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I do promote the Rosary and all the beads and all the decades and all the things. And one of the ways that we are doing that is our third annual Dominican Rosary Pilgrimage that is held in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, September 27th of this year. So we're excited for that. A lot of planning's gone into it. It's going to be an amazing day, and we're so excited for it.
So a rosary pilgrimage, my brain immediately goes to, are we just carrying rosaries around Washington, D.C.? What does a rosary pilgrimage look like, entail? And I actually want to go back to, this is only the third one. This is a newer thing. What's the origin story?
Yeah. So the origin story is there was a friar who was praying. And
Normal.
in the prayer, he was inspired that we need to pray the rosary in public and together. And from that inspiration, he, contacted the shrine, and everything kind of moved, and doors opened, and things fell into place. And we had this first Rosary Pilgrimage, which was kind of an overflow of our Dominican charism. And if you look at the entire day, it's the full Dominican charism on display. You have beautiful preaching that's the fruit of contemplation. You have adoration and contemplative prayer. You have the sacraments available in confession, and beautiful liturgy and prayer with a full rosary procession. We pray the entirety of the rosary, processing around and drawing the body of Christ together in and underneath the mantle of Our Lady to grow closer to the Lord and her Son. And then we have a vigil mass, and it all kind of culminates in this joyous celebration and fraternity in a concert with the Hillbilly Thomas. And so it's been an amazing kind of evolution over the last 2 years. And this third year, we're continually fine-tuning things, but building on what the foundation we've laid the last few years. We're just excited to have another run at this.
I love that it was a guy praying, which is a huge part of y'all's life. If I text a Dominican and I don't get a reply within a few minutes, I'm like, oh, he's probably praying.
Yeah.
That's a usually pretty safe bet if you're busy. And in that prayer, this desire to pray it publicly, which you carry a rosary around all the time, very publicly. I carry one in my pocket, not publicly. In fact, hide it away so that I'm not the weird Catholic walking around with it dangling out of my pocket. But you are a sign of contradiction in the world. You're in a medieval habit with a rosary on your hip. Tell me moments where maybe that has startled people or encouraged people. There's this video circulating right now of our mutual friend, Father Simon Teller, who, or no, Father Jonah. It was Father Jonah in New York. A guy stops him and tells him, your drip is amazing. Which I went to college with Father Jonah, so I just thought it was hilarious because he would have done something like that as a college student. So it was just a total comeuppance. But there have been moments, I'm sure, where people have seen you in the garb, have seen the rosary, and wondered about it. What does that do to people's faith?
I've found that when I'm out in public and in the streets of New York City, on the subway or in Central Park or whatever, most people see me as a freak. And
to put it
not
nicely.
wrong. But people are intrigued by freaks, and they will actually ask questions. I've had so many people say, hey, what's the story here? Like, what's going on? Or there's like, I think you're religious, but I'm not quite sure. I've been called a Jedi. I've been called everything under the sun. Some things I can say here, some things I can't say here. But I found that people are intrigued by it, and it has opened up so many conversations. I've heard so many beautiful stories of people's own faith journeys, or people just struggling, and they're like, I saw you, I needed to ask, like, yeah, I'm struggling with my own relationship with God or family members or whatever it may be. But it has always been, I've never had an encounter where somebody has asked me about why I'm wearing what I am or why I am what I am. All this, I've never had it go poorly. Because people, if they're going to ask, it's because they're intrigued by it. And I found that most people are intrigued because it's weird.
Yeah, the weirdness of Catholicism, like, we don't have to be more weird. We have
we're very
enough weird things. I was with Father Patrick Mary, actually. We were in a place that we were the Catholics. Like, there were a handful of us, and we were them. And we had a relic of the true cross. And we were telling some non-Catholics about the relic, and I could see it on their face. This, like, wait, what do you think that is? And then, like, Mother Olga was also with us. So it's like, Mother Olga, she cares not at all what you think. She's just going to make sure you understand the value of this, and then proceeded to, like, hold this relic for everybody to venerate. And that weirdness, that sign of contradiction, that we are doing something the rest of the world might not understand, was an invitation to deeper questions. I feel like the Rosary Pilgrimage probably does the same in our nation's capital. Now, granted, in a very Catholic place, the shrine, but what's been kind of the impact you found? People come to this from all over the country. People come from the DMV area. Like, this sends them out to be a little more public in their faith.
Yeah, it's been something really beautiful. When I started getting involved in it a few years ago, and now am taking a more intentional role in the event, I think I knew people would be interested. I think I got it. Like, oh, people will like this, and a lot of your pious types and Sunday mass goers, of course, they're going to show up. What I didn't expect is the amount of people that were going to make a sacrifice to show up. You know, the amount of people that traveled a long distance, they took vacation days just to be here, or they sacrificed, different family events. They planned it on their calendar and protected it, didn't let anything else. And so the amount of sacrifice from the pilgrims to actually make it, and in that sense, it's a true pilgrimage. It's not, it's not comfortable. It's not easy. It's something that people are making a lot of sacrifices to show up and be a part of. And I think we as friars are making a lot of sacrifices to, put this on and invite people into our charism and into a relationship with Jesus through his mother. So it's a really beautiful event in that way, and I've seen some of the kind of ripple effects in that way, that people then have continued to let the devotion to Our Lady and let the Rosary grow in their own life. But yeah, personally, it's been something that I knew would gather interest from a certain demographic, but I just didn't foresee the amount of sacrifices that people were willing to endure to take part of this.
Yeah, I can't think of another event that's similar to this. Run by Dominicans from start to finish. We're going to hear from some of the best preachers. Tell us kind of the structure of this year's day. What can people expect? What will they see? Of course, the Hillbilly Thomas concert at the end is a huge highlight.
Yeah, so the day, it's about 12 hours. So we're looking at about 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday. It's a free, non-ticketed event, so you can just show up in D.C. We do ask that if you do plan on showing up, kind of sign up or RSVP. It just helps us with our planning. But you can show up at any point of the day. We'll begin at 10 a.m. We'll have a procession with a newly made statue, Our Lady Queen of the Rosary. We'll bless that statue, inaugurate it, and then she'll be there for veneration throughout the day. Then we'll begin with a morning conference and move into the afternoon period of adoration and confessions. We have some Dominican friars who have written books that are going to be having a book signing, so you can meet your favorite Dominican authors that way. And then we'll gather again in the afternoon for an afternoon conference. And then after that, we'll have an enrollment in the Confraternity of the Holy Rosary, which I will be leading for that. A rosary procession throughout the interior of the Basilica, end with a vigil mass, and then after that, we will have the concert. And I should note that both of the major conferences will be held in English and in Spanish, so we'll have opportunities for both English and Spanish language pilgrims. But if you cannot show up in DC for the event, do not be afraid. You can live stream the event. We'll have the entire event on our website, and so you can become a digital pilgrim and join us from afar and live stream all the conferences and the Mass and the rosaries throughout the day.
It's a great thing to do as a family, to turn it on throughout the course of the day. You probably have the TV on anyway, rather than college football. Just watch some Dominicans.
Well, I need to figure out what time Notre Dame's playing, and I know the Ryder Cup is the same weekend, so my heart's breaking a little bit. I'm going to get notifications all day.
There you
but
go.
Don't
You've
worry.
got your Apple Watch.
Got my
You're ready
priorities.
to go.
I got my priorities. It's Rosary Pilgrimage first, okay?
And then the Notre Dame game, which I believe is 3:30 because we stream it on the Catholic channel, which is great. We're going to a Notre Dame game in a couple of weeks. I actually ordered our T-shirts this morning. And Claire, my 5-year-old, declared she wants to be the little fighting Irish guy when she grows up. So, we have goals in life. This is, that's fine. Whatever. You might have to get a scholarship to go to Notre Dame, buddy. But we support the fighting Irish. So, yes. Father Joseph Anthony, where can people find out more? Sign up to watch it, or you still have a few days, folks. Grab a plane ticket, hop on the train, make a drive. DC is a great place to visit on top of going for the National Rosary Pilgrimage. So where can people find out more?
More information, all of the information will be on our website, which is rosarypilgrimage.org. So the schedule of events, the live stream links, the links to sign up for the Rosary Confraternity, everything is on that website, rosarypilgrimage.org, and you can find everything you need from there.
And where can people listen to your dulcet tones and the voices of 3 other funny Dominicans? Where can they find you guys?
If you want to know more about the weirdness of Catholicism, I'm not joking. We just had an episode on that. Yeah, we just dropped an episode specifically on the weirdness of being Catholic. We are on the Godsplaining podcast. We're on all your podcast platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. You can find more information at godsplaining.org for any of our live events, and follow us on social media at Godsplaining for all of our platforms.
It's one of 3 Catholic podcasts I listen to. I won't share what the other 2 are, but I only listen to 3, and that's one of them. So, Father Joseph Anthony Kress, thanks so much for joining us on the Katie McGrady Show.
Thank you so much. God bless.